What's up, people of all different types of ages, races, genders, and yes, even you other species out there watching this video. This is your boy, Omega Pro, and today I wanted to talk about Dragon Ball Raging Blast 3. So, for the past few days, I've been making a lot of videos about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and talking about what I would expect out of that game and just sort of speculation and hyping it up and maybe giving ideas to Namco Bandai so that way they can maybe incorporate that into their game. And my comment section actually surprisingly has a lot of people asking about Raging Blast 3. So for those of you that are not in the know, Raging Blast was a series that debuted on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 in between Battle of Z and Ultimate Tenkaichi and Xenoverse and all those other games. It was right before those, and it released not necessarily to critical acclaim, but fans actually, they were kind of torn on it. A lot of people said it was nowhere near as good as Tenkaichi, and that may or may not be true. I'm not going to say my take on it because honestly, I don't know what to think of that. I think they're both really, really good in their own right. But a lot of people liked it and a lot of people did not like it. But now that we've got Xenoverse and now that they're making Xenoverse 2 and maybe another game, who knows, I've gotten a lot of people asking me about Raging Blast 3 and asking me what I think about a Raging Blast 3. Now, would I be opposed to a Raging Blast 3? I mean, I guess not. I would very much so rather have a Xenoverse 2 over a Raging Blast 3. So if I had to choose between the two, give me Xenoverse 2 because I like the way that Xenoverse plays better than Raging Blast. And I think that, like, if they were to do some improvements to the core gameplay of Xenoverse, I would actually prefer it to Raging Blast and maybe even Tenkaichi. They just need to tweak a few more things. And on top of that, you also get the character customization in Xenoverse, which Raging Blast never had. Now, they could very well put character creation into Raging Blast, but that would force them to create it from the ground up, whereas Xenoverse has already laid down the framework and they can just keep building upon that. So I would rather see Xenoverse be the franchise. I think Raging Blast, I think that franchise's time is unfortunately done. And I think that from here on out, we should look forward to getting Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and that would be the mainline story, or not the mainline story, just the main franchise for the Dragon Ball Z games. Now, we may get side games here and there, and maybe Raging Blast could have its place as a side game, but I think it might be a little bit too similar to Xenoverse for them to do that. Both being 3D fighting games, they might confuse some of the consumers, and of course, as a company like Bandai Namco, you don't want to, I always confuse them, by the way. I always say Bandai Namco and then I'll say Namco Bandai. I always switch them around, whatever, get off me, I just caught myself doing that. But maybe they don't want to confuse their consumers by having two 3D fighting games out at the same time, because that would be a little bit weird, to be honest. And there are consumers that would get confused by it, believe it or not. I know that us here on YouTube would not get confused by that because, you know, we know the distinct differences. We're hardcore fans. But to the average Joe Sumo, maybe the average Dragon Ball fan that doesn't really pay attention to all this news like we do, maybe they just look at the game and be like, oh, this looks cool. Raging Blast 3, I'll get to create my character, and this is what the game looks like. Whatever, they buy it, they can't create their character, and then all of a sudden they're upset and they never buy a Dragon Ball Z game again, and that's certainly not what we want. My stance on Raging Blast is as follows. I think the games are pretty damn good, and I think with some improvements, they could be really, really good, actually. I think what Raging Blast can offer, that Xenoverse can't offer, or at least not yet anyway, is definitely in terms of experiencing Dragon Ball like it was meant to be experienced, maybe with the story mode that was as good as Raging Blast, covering the entire thing, as well as just having a lot of content in it by the ways of original Dragon Ball Z stuff, not necessarily character creation or what ifs and stuff like that. Maybe you could throw in what ifs because they had Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and stuff in there, and Super Saiyan 3 Broly and Raging Blast 2. So we can get stuff like that from Raging Blast, and we can leave the Xenoverse stuff to be the whole extreme what ifs where you throw your character into a story and you have them take over. Anyway, what do you guys think about Raging Blast 3 and the Raging Blast series as a whole? Would you like to see it make a return? Why or why not? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, if you did enjoy this video, please consider it leaving a like rating. It helps me out more than you can ever imagine, and it makes the anime community stronger and spreads the word out there. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'm definitely going to catch you in the next video. Have a good one.